Hi and welcome back to Kindest Milk. I'm Regina. I'm a midwife, lactation consultant and mom of 5. Let us chat a little bit about returning to work after maternity leave. In this video today, I myself have gone back to paid employment 4 times after maternity leave, and preparation really is the key to make the transition as smooth as possible, as it can be very hard to think about going back to work while you're still on maternity leave. But going back to work doesn't need to be the end of your breastfeeding journey. If you're planning to go back to work before your baby's 6 months old, you may still need to introduce a bottle and teat, whereas babies over 6 months, they may already happily drink from a sippy cup or a beaker, and breastfeeding won't be their sole source of nutrition anymore. If your breastfed baby hasn't had a bottle and teat at all yet, then it is ideal to plan in about 4 weeks for this transitioning process before they are required to take the bottle away from you. I have previously made 2 videos on how to introduce a bottle of express breast milk to a breastfed baby and how to use the paced bottle feeding technique with a breastfed baby so that they easily move between breast and bottle, and I will link those videos here. About 2 weeks before your start date at work, begin leaving your baby with their new caregiver for short periods, and also let them practice giving a bottle. Once your baby is happy and accepts the bottle happily, then you usually don't have to worry that they will not come back to the breast, as long as their new caregiver is following the paced bottle feeding technique as well. Many babies love to come back to the breast and reconnect after mom has been away at work for a long day, and lots of moms and babies continue breastfeeding at nighttime, and we know from research that especially older nurslings, they take up to 20% of their 24-hour milk intake at nighttime. If you're planning to breastfeed or express at work, then talk to your employer, preferably in writing, about breastfeeding or expressing breaks, a suitable space for breastfeeding or expressing, and also the availability and access to a sink and a refrigerator. If you're planning to pump at work, you will likely express enough to fill baby's bottles for the next day, but it can provide you with peace of mind to have a little bit of a freezer stash already at home before you return to work. So a good time window would be to start building up a milk supply for the freezer about 1 to 2 months before you return to work. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, babies between 2 to 5 months can take anywhere from 120 to 180 milliliters per feeding, roughly every 3 to 4 hours. Babies older than 6 months may take up to as much as 240 milliliters per feeding, but perhaps with longer feeding gaps in between, as they will already have started solids as well. It can be helpful to stash about 3 to 4 days worth of milk before your start date at work, and a good time to include pumping into your routine would be after the morning feed, when you're naturally a little bit fuller because your hormones for milk production are higher towards the early hours of the morning, with a double electric pump for about 10 to 15 minutes. To begin with, just start with 1 pumping session per day and see how you're getting on, as otherwise you may stimulate your supply too much and then you will end up with an oversupply when back at work. If in your work environment you have access to a power source, you'll be most efficient and best off with a double electric breast pump, because you can pump both breasts at the same time, and it gives you also more output in a shorter amount of time. If you don't have access to a power source, then use a double electric breast pump that can be powered by battery temporarily, or that is charged up, Or you can also use a manual pump, but that will take a little bit longer, most likely, for you to express and drain your breasts. Then it can also be helpful to, ideally you put the milk into the fridge whilst you're still at work, and to transport it home, place it into an insulated lunch bag, such as this one here, with some ice packs in there, some ice blocks, to bring it home to your baby. Other things that can help you with expressing as well is, as I mentioned before, a suitable space. So not the bathroom, it needs to be a suitable and comfortable space for you. You can look at a video or a picture on your phone of your baby that may help you relax and may help you with your milk letdown as well. Depending on how many times you're planning to express at work, if your baby's under 6 months old, most likely this will be more than once at work. It may be every sort of 3 hours, so ensure you're bringing enough clean bottles with you for your work day. And if your baby is exclusively breastfed, you can also, if you have access to a microwave, you can microwave sterilize your pumping shields and equipment, your pumping equipment, and if that is not available, just to use hot soapy water and rinse your pumping equipment with cool boiled water after, and sterilize once a day at home. In Ireland, by law, you're allowed 60 minutes time off in an 8-hour day to breastfeed or to express, or a reduction of 60 minutes in an 8-hour day to breastfeed elsewhere. This is without loss of pay for the first 26 weeks postpartum. The HSE, the Irish National Health Service, have published a new policy in November 2020, which states that staff employed in the public health service are entitled to breastfeeding or expressing breaks up to 2 years postpartum, so to the second birthday of their child. And the Children's Minister has this year also campaigned to extend this entitlement to other sectors as well. Over time, you yourself will figure out what works best for you and your baby. Take one step at a time, be flexible, and know that it will get easier with time as well, and it will be worth it. I hope that this video can help you to feel a little bit less anxious about your return to work. If so, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will leave the links to the resources mentioned here, such as the pump cleaning instructions, in the description box below. And otherwise, until next time, I hope your breastfeeding journey is going well. Bye.